WEF partner pushing to end private car ownership to fight so-called global boiling. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to have sovereignty. They want you to rely on them. That's why they want to get rid of our way of life. So we have to depend on them and to eat the bugs as they want as well. Is this is crazy? This is nuts. The stuff that's going on right now with these globalists. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. The green agenda of the World Economic Forum, an unelected global organization, has gained significant prominence recently as it aggressively pushes for the implementation of its Great Reset. Y'all know I've been covering that for a while now. And other global bureaucratic agencies are also increasing their efforts to pressure sovereign nations into adhering to the WEF's climate goals. In a recent fear inducing speech, Antonio Guterres, the Director General of the United Nations, emphasized the emergency of submitting to the Green Agenda, claiming that the world is facing a quote global boiling. It went from global cooling to global warming to climate change, and now it's global boiling. A recent aspect of the WEF's Great Reset is the idea that the public should give up all property, privacy, and rights, allowing the government and unelected bureaucrats to control all aspects of life. I mean, who really is going for this? I mean, if the public really knew what was going on, there'd be an outrage right now. They'd be out in the streets right now fighting against these unelected bureaucrats and these globalists. But the infamous phrase coined by the WEF, you will own nothing and be happy, however, they are not alone in planning for a world where people own nothing. And in 2019, WEF partner Erupt Group uh, released a report suggesting an end to private car ownership as a solution to the supposed climate change crisis, despite data indicating otherwise. Erupt Group's report demand changes in consumption of various commodities like clothing, cars, electronics, and food to quote save the planet, while seemingly um, exempting the elites who argue for their special privileges. So they get to fly on private jets and own a bunch of houses and tons of vehicles. It's us plebes, us little people, that have to make the sacrifices. The report supports WEF's net zero carbon goals outlined in the Paris Climate Accord, but it overlooks the essential role of carbon for life on Earth and the benefits it provides for plants, animals, and humans. I mean, we need carbon. We are carbon-based life forms. But both ARUP and WEF seem disinterested in objective science, aiming for a narrative that empowers the elites and impoverishes the majority. Contrary to their claims, data shows that there has been no global warming for the past 8 years, and recent studies indicate that CO2 emissions from fossil fuels are too low to cause global warming. And I've cited those several studies before. A few of them I have on my Patreon if you want to check those out. But ARUP and its co-creators and founders, including University of Leeds, C40 Cities, and City Foundation, ignore the scientific data and want to make people reliant on the elites for travel. The WEF proposes a digital ID social credit score system to control and restrict access to various services and goods, effectively excluding those who refuse to comply with their agenda. Just look at what they did with COVID restrictions. That's the idea of what they want to do. If you don't get the jab, then you can't do this. That's what they want to do with this ID social credit score. The WEF has also previously laid out plans for a world with no private ownership, where all commodities will require government approval. The ARAP uh, 2019 report emphasizes the need for changes in building construction and infrastructure, transportation, and consumption habits like adopting plant based diets, reducing flying, and using electronics and appliances for longer. Of course, they don't have to abide by any of these. The C40 cities are urged to meet emission reduction commitments to achieve net carbon neutrality by 2050 in six consumption categories. And according to the WEF and its allies, their vision for the future includes eating bugs, which I've talked about before, living in small apartments, in 15-minute cities, limited travel choices, and uniform like attire. I mean, this is straight out of dystopian novels. If the WEF's vision becomes reality, there may not be much of the planet left to save in their view. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.